In this lesson, we're going to talk about using different subdivisions within your drum fills. But before we jump into that, I got a question for you. I was talking to a student the other day about their practice time, and it got me thinking, what is the average amount that a drummer practices during the week? So that's my question for you. Put down in the comment section, how many hours a week do you get to practice, or do you devote to practice? Now, we're going to talk about utilizing different subdivisions within the same drum fill. Now, what does that mean? Well, all too often, I'm sure you've heard this, and I used to do this, and I'm sure you've heard other drummers do this. Once they devote themselves to one subdivision within a fill, they continue that subdivision throughout the fill. So if they start with 16th notes, they're going to end on 16th notes. If they start with sextuplets, they're going to end. So they may start the fill like this. Whatever that may look like, but typically they'll start with a subdivision and end with that same subdivision. So how do we break out of that box and begin to utilize triplets and 8th notes and 16ths and 32nd notes and all of the different subdivisions and put them into the same fill? So this is going to be a drum fill, not a drum groove, that utilizes 3 different subdivisions. We're going to look at 16th notes, we're going to look at 32nd notes, which is 16th notes twice the speed, and we're going to look at sextuplets. Now 16th notes, we count 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. 32nd notes are going to be 16th notes just doubled, so twice that. And sextuplets, I typically count them just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's going to be 6 notes per beat. Okay, so 32nd notes is 8 notes per beat. 16th notes, 4 notes per beat. Sextuplets, 6 notes per beat. Now, let's look at the first. Sometimes it's easier for me to break a fill down by stickings. Sometimes it's easier for me to break it down beat by beat. This particular fill, I'm going to break down beat by beat. Now, on beat 1, it's a 16th note skeleton. So I'm going to start the fill by playing 2 16th notes here on the hi-hat. It's going to go 1 E, and then I'm going to come in with 2 32nd notes on my kick drum. But the skeleton would be 1 E and. Now, after the kick drum, I'm going to play one more 16th note, the of 1, on my high tom. So 1 E and After you get that down, then double the kick drum. So 1 E and Let me demonstrate that for you. Once you get that down, move to beat 2. Beat 2 is going to be 32nd notes throughout. So I'm going to have 2 ghosted 32nd notes here on my snare drum, followed by 2 32nd notes here on my kick drum, and then I'm going to play 4 32nd notes starting on the and of 2. I'm going to accent the snare drum, the 2nd note plays here, the 3rd and 4th note play here. So it's going to go 2 notes, accent, high tom, floor tom, floor tom. Beat 3 starts with 2 32nd notes on the kick drum on the downbeat. Then on the E of 3, I'm going to move back to 16th notes, and I'm going to open the hi-hat. Then on the and of 3, play an accented snare drum, followed by a 16th note kick drum single on the of 3. So far we've used 16th notes and 32nd notes. Now I want to put in some sextuplets. So for the sextuplets, I'm going to come over to my floor tom, and I'm going to play a single right followed by 2 ghosted snare drums on my left hand. So 1, 2, 3. On the and of 4, we're going to have a kick drum followed by 2 more notes. As I just demonstrated, once you get all 4 beats independently, then put them together and then put them with a groove. I typically, and I have my students, practice with 3 bars of time, 1 bar of fill. Now why do I do that? Because typically in popular music, you will see music divided up into sections, even sections. So 4, 8, 12, 16 bars. So doing that, we go ahead and we're practicing in a musical way, getting accustomed to dividing our practice time up in those small musical chunks. Hopefully this has helped you break out of your box. Hopefully it's helped you learn how to utilize some different subdivisions within your playing. It's not that hard. We just have to make a conscious choice to do it. If it's helped you, click that thumbs up button or pass it on to somebody that you think it might help. As well, sign up for the email list below. I've got my free program, 30 Days to Better Doubles. If you haven't downloaded that, you would have gotten the sheet music if you were on the email list as well. I send that out every week whenever I release one of these videos here on YouTube. But no matter what you do, I'll see you here in the next lesson.